Welcome to an episode, I'm going to call it barn find, but it's not really a barn find. We're going to hark back to a time long ago with the first wheel that ever imported, which was the Ninebot 1. Should we take a look? Oh, look at this. We just gently scrape away the surface of the vehicle. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Now, who can remember this wheel? This is what started it all. Will it boot up? Oh, it does. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that. What a time capsule. Let's ride it and see what it's like going back to 2013, 2014. Tyre's a bit flat, as you may have expected, being in the woods for all those years. But you might be used to just being able to pump your tyre up. Wow. Have I got news for you? There's the valve hidden in here, and of course there's no space to actually access that valve for a pump, so you'd need a valve extender, which we used to sell a lot of for this exact reason. And then you sort of need to press down and screw this valve extender on to be able to access the valve. There you go. Look, even done one-handed. Years of experience doing that. But yeah, there you go. Step one, inflate tyre. Needed extra tool to do it because you can't access it. I still think it's a looker though. Alright, well, here we go. Let's set off on the journey. Let's hop off this curb. Oh, it managed it. Now, as you can probably guess, it wasn't really buried in the woods. That's just a bit of fun. Now, you'll notice also that you can scrape the foot plates real easy because it's so low down, because it's such a small wheel, which is always interesting. But she still works. She still works fine. It's done, this wheel's done 1,000 miles. I just logged in, it's done 1,000 miles in total, this wheel. So, but as you can imagine, you're on one battery pack, so not the split battery packs. I think it's 320 watt hours from memory on the Plus, 16-inch wheel, and you can overlean this and blow the board in the blink of an eye, because I replaced hundreds of boards in my time when this first came out. It was the wheel for at least probably a year or two of production run where it was the bee's knees. So as you can see here, it's actually still quite stylish. This here was from the Ninebot 1P, so we've nicked the side pads at some point in its history. But it's actually fared quite well. Well, as it's because it's mine. This vehicle is reversing. Turns out, this is the noisiest road. I chose closed road because I thought it would be nice and quiet. Turns out, it's the noisiest road known to man. The amazing thing about this, when it first came out, if you think walking speed's going to be about this, so this is your walking speed. These wheels came out, and all of a sudden, you could step on something that was no wider than your shoulders, and you could put in the boot of your car, and you could travel along miles faster, miles an hour faster than walking. So this wheel will do 14.5 miles an hour, which, don't forget, in comparison to walking, this is suddenly the busiest road ever. It's like the worst choice I've made. 14.5 miles an hour, and it starts to tip back, and it does a bit of a rocking thing where it's like, way up, I'm on a boat, and you're not quite sure whether you can have an accident, but it does 14.5 miles an hour max, so you can sit comfortably at about 12 miles an hour. At this sort of speed, you are going faster than you'd be doing a run at. You're not kicking up a sweat. The whole point was you can just ride along effortlessly. It'd carry all your fat weight without a sweat. There was something amazing about it. It released the possibility of being able to travel like you're floating with zero effort, apart from learning to ride. So if you go back to some of our earliest videos that we've done, you will see me doing the videos on not this exact wheel, but the same model as this wheel. Because it was new and exciting. Of course, we're always looking for that extra excitement angle all the time. There was something though, because now it's got so fast, so powerful, and you see people moaning when they can't do 30 miles an hour because it's become normalized. There's something special about this leisurely approach. This, you could blow the board if you go a little bit too fast or lean too much approach. Something innocent about that ride. And as you can see, you don't need to get kitted up because it goes so slow. I say so slow, in comparison to walking, it's incredibly quick, but it ain't 30 miles an hour, is it? So really you can't, it does 14.5 miles an hour just, but that's on the limit. And as I say, you don't want to be on the limit at all. So I'm going to head into some off-road stuff now. I'll do some little trails. This thing is still going. This battery is extremely old. I'm amazed it hasn't run out yet. I've been about half a mile. Thought it might have run out. So as I alluded to, you could easily overpower this wheel by going too fast or leaning into it too much. Now, that also of course applied to hills. So what you actually have to do, you have to really carefully monitor your wheel. You couldn't just be blasé about it and go, it doesn't matter, I got loads of power, loads of range, loads of power. You had none of those things. And it brought a level of concentration into riding that's actually quite refreshing to get back on a wheel like this. And I found that with the M10-4, video link below. The M10-4 kind of brings that back. It's not super powerful, it's not super fast. It's just fun. And this Ninebot was just fun, non-offensive fun. Like now I'm going along the trails. I'm exploring a trail that I haven't hit this trail for ages, years. And this trail is where I was taking the Ninebots out for the first time, not realizing these trails existed. It opened up the trails because I'd never have walked them because it would have taken hours. But I was able to get on this wheel and just go for a ride. Leisurely, with ease, seeing the surroundings in almost complete silence, the very gentle hum of the motor in a very compact design. So when it was new, I did about 10-12 miles with my weight of riding before it went dead. I don't really want to push it too much because obviously, as I say, this battery it's incredible. It's still going. It has been charged on and off regularly. Like probably, I think this, when I pulled this out of the warehouse, it hadn't been charged for 8 months, something like that. It's supposed to charge it every 30 days to cycle those cells around to keep them optimum. But I'm just heading to a hill now where I'm going to give it a quick go coming up it. So if you lean into it too much, you're potentially going to do yourself a mischief. But even now, this is about 10 miles an hour, still taking me up. So you're looking at a 500 watt motor, I believe. So they started out, when they first came out, it's 350 watts in the Ninebot 1C. They then brought out the Ninebot 1C Plus, then the E and E Plus, and then P. And the P was a bit of a disaster. The motor cables would melt. Massively, the motor was an 800 watt motor. It was real quick, so that was the first one that was hitting 20-something miles an hour on the Ninebot range. There were other wheels out that were hitting those speeds already, but not as nice looking, more briefcasey. And so this with the 500 watt motor, of course, it pales into insignificance now, but it is really important to get back to the heritage of these things, to see where they came from and the mindset of those that rode them at the time, basically. There's something genteel about it and relaxing. I got nothing to worry about. I don't need to kit up with full armour and spend 5 minutes. A bit like when you get a motorbike. Anyone's got a motorbike, you know exactly what I mean. You think, oh, lovely day, I'll quickly go for a ride out, and there's no quick thing about it because the first 15 minutes are getting dressed. And then when you arrive somewhere, you think, I'll have a quick coffee. You've got to take it all off or walk around like you're sort of made of iron. There's that element to it. There's a freedom within these smaller wheels that's to be had that you don't get and don't see with the bigger wheels. So even if you try and ride slow on a bigger wheel, it's big and heavy. This, you hardly know you're on it. It weighs next to nothing. So yeah, there's something about it that's refreshing. And it still works. If they've been looked after, they still work. And there's one thing that I've got that not many people have, is the trolley handle is still intact. Because they also used to break all the time. Mainly because people used to use them to pick them up. After they've fallen off, you put it out and pick it up, and it's not designed to be used that way. It's only designed to be picked up vertically. The tyre, road tyre, no grip off-road. Again, if you want to enhance your off-road riding capabilities, ride with a very slick tyre, so you learn throttle control. And of course, you're the throttle essentially, aren't you? How much you lean and how much you lean back and forward to feather it through very slippy conditions. So I'm riding on a slippy trail at the moment, and I can't go fast because I'm going uphill as well. So I can't even go. I think, oh, I'll go a bit faster because I'm so used to it, but no, I can't. I haven't got the option open to me. So you just put up with it and just enjoy it. Learn patience. Part of the fun. But there is an interesting thought. Can you still have this type of experience today? And you kind of can, but with more power, but similar size and Ray Rocky. Similar size and weight, and that is with the InMotion V8F. So the V8 was that an 800? Well, yep, an 800. So much fun. 800 watt motor. When it first came out, they brought the V8F out, so an upgraded version of that. And so you've got a much bigger battery than on this Ninebot, and you've got a heck of a lot more power, almost twice as much power. But it's the same form factor. So this is available today. This fun is available today with a little bit of extra punch, but still available. So go and check it out. I'll link it below, the V8F, and you can have a piece of that genteel action, that lightweight, non-back braking, non-skull fracturing bit of fun. Still recommend you wear a helmet with the V8F, to be fair, because it goes a lot faster than this Ninebot does. As I say, on the box 14.5, but you can't travel that. You basically travel about 12. Yeah, that's all you can get out of it. So definitely check that out. It's pedals dip forward then. Bit unusual. Love it. You're never quite sure whether it's going to kill you. But it was just so much fun. And the injuries, as I say, were so limited because you're going so slow. So even if you did come off and it tried to kill you, it can't. Yeah, so really that wraps it up, this video. It was just a short, fun video. I thought, hang on a minute, pulled this out of the warehouse and thought, could do a video on it. Could give it some airtime yet again after all these years. Give it a little bit of airtime. It deserves it. It's a cracking little wheel. It led the way. As I say, still available in the form of the V8F, which we have in stock. So check it out. See what you think. Report back. Let us know. And anybody else, do you have a Ninebot 1E still in? Or a C? Or a C+? Or an E+? Or a P? Do you still have one? Write in the comments below if you do. And I'll catch you next time.